Hello everyone, welcome to Bella's Crochet Gifts. I'm Bella. All right, so I have some finished objects for you today. I have some whips to show you, and I have a little bit of a yarn haul. Let's start with some finished objects. All right, so let's start with my hashtag Palentine's Day. It was what the ladies were doing last month for the hashtag Old Gals New Crafts. They were doing half circle shawls, and I finished mine. It turned out beautiful. There we go. A little bit closer. So this is the Drop Canyon shawl. Well, it's called Drop Canyon, and it was, I believe, a free pattern. I found it through Ravelry. Well, technically I found it through Carrie Penny, the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and she pointed me to Ravelry. But this is how it turned out. I love how it looks, and yay, it's long enough. Oops. Ta-da. Oh, it turned out so nice. I'm so happy with that. And this is some Knit Picks yarn that I got a while ago, but then I got that other shipment and I was able to finish it, so yay, so happy. Okay, so there's that one. Then I have the movie Marquee challenge that is being hosted by Heather the Crochet Witch and Sandy from Crochet Eh Canada. And their movie poster for March was Venom. And I'll put in a picture. And then here is my finished object. So I didn't do a blanket this month because I have another blanket that I will be showing you in a minute. All right, I had to find, okay. Oh, I forgot to write this down. I will, of course, link all the information. So this is supposed to be a, what's it called? It's supposed to be a shrug. And I believe it is called Dreamcatcher, Cozy Dreamcatcher Shrug, or something like that. I will put it in the description down below. But I ran into some issues, and it wasn't the pattern's fault, and I guess it could have been my fault, but I'm blaming it on the yarn. We'll just go with that. So the reason it is not a shrug is because this yarn, it is gorgeous, but it has no give to it. Let me see, I brought in, okay. So I brought in a skein. So this is the Big Twist in Tranquil, and it is kind of, it's kind of like a Karen Simply Soft. It's got the shine, and it's 100% acrylic. But, see, there you go. You can kind of see it. So the thing about this yarn is there is no stretch to it at all. There is nothing. And it's loosely enough twisted that, like, you can't even get the plump from the fiber being twisted more heavily. It is a lightly twisted yarn. So when I went to make the sleeves, there was no give. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll just add a little bit extra on the side. And I kept adding, and I kept adding, and like it fits me in the sense that it cups around my shoulders. You see how it cups here? Like it makes kind of like almost a little bit of a pocket for like a shoulder like cuff almost. But like there's just no give to it. Like in all of that, it's just static. And so I ended up adding length to it so that I can still wear it as like just like a shawl. But yeah, I was like, and like the thing is it's meant to be a 5-weight. You're supposed to use a 5-weight bulky yarn and a 6.5 millimeter hook, which is I believe a K. 6.5, yes. And so I did this yarn, which is a 4, and then I used the 6.5 millimeter thinking, oh yeah, that'll be fine. But the thing is like with the no give, like it won't let you shape it the way you need in order to have it, you know, cuff right. And because this was the pattern to here, like that's how it's supposed to look. And then I added all this so that I can actually wear it around me. Because you're supposed to take it to here, and then you fold it in on itself, like so that it'd look kind of like a V, kind of like that. And then you're supposed to make like a cuff to make the shrug. But every time I tried folding it in, it didn't work. And then I was debating whether to just take this out and then try and cuff it, but I don't know. Oh, hi, sweetie.
I'm recording.
I am.
Sorry.
It's okay. That's my husband. Like I said, his office is right there. Anyways, so didn't turn out how I wanted it to, but it's still wearable. I can still use it. And I love the colors. I mean, it's gorgeous colors. And I think it fit the movie poster pretty well. So there's that. My next finished object is for the hashtag Old Gals New Crafts. I finished the 2-color granny square blanket. All right, here we go. It's pretty big. Here we go. Ta-da! So it's almost my wingspan, maybe a foot shorter. So that makes it roughly a 4-foot square or so. So that'll be a nice cuddle up blanket for somebody. And this pattern turned out really nice. I love the be able to use some of my Carrie Big Cakes and end up with a nice blanket. I thought that was very complimentary with the cream and then the big cake in, I believe it was cake pop. So I liked how that turned out. Although it's really thick. Like this whole thing has some heft to it. It's got some good weight to it. I think the next time I make one like this, I am going to use a bigger hook, because I used a eye hook, which I believe is a 5.5 millimeter hook, and this thing is dense. Like someone's gonna be warm. So yeah, I think I'll use a bigger hook next time when I go to do that again. All right. Oh, in case you noticed my hat, this was a gift from my good friend Becky. I saw her yesterday. We went shopping, and this was my Christmas present. Thank you, Becky. She watches. All right, let's see what else we got. So it's a black cat. Isn't that cute? This is Knit. She made it. All right. Let's see. Let's do my whips next. So I have a couple of whips that I'm working on. Let's go with this one. All right. So I showed you this before. This is the Crochet One Skein Throw, and it is a pattern from Coats and Clark. It is a free pattern. It is a 2-row repeat, and it is turning out gorgeous. All right, here we go. So it is roughly probably about 3.5 feet right now. And the last time I showed it to you, that's my progress creeper, and it's a little ghost. Isn't it cute? So that's how much I had finished to begin with, and this is how much I've worked on. So making progress. I am about to run out of yarn on this one, and so I put in an order to Joann's because they have their yarn 20% off right now, but if I ordered by tomorrow, I could get an additional 25% off if I ordered it online and picked it up in store. So instead of being like $9.50, it's like $7.19 a skein. So yay! And then I will add more onto that. I'm thinking I'll add some on top, and then depending on what it looks like on my bed, my king size bed upstairs, the one I always show you guys stuff on, I might add some sides to it just to make it a little bit wider. So there's that. And then this month I am trying to go back and work on some of my whips that have been piling up and I keep forgetting about, and I keep starting new things. So I am working on whips. My next one, I don't know when I showed you last. Where did I put it? Hold on. Ah, here it is. So, I'm not sure when I showed you this last, but I was having the knitting problem, second sock syndrome, in case any of you are familiar with that. So I finished the first sock, which there it is. This is the dorm sock. Yeah, it is a free pattern from Maxim. I actually learned about it from Jennifer at Cinnamon Stitches, and it is called the Dorm Socks, and it is a worsted weight sock pattern. There we go. So there's the first one. Turned out pretty good. And here is my second one. It's not turning, well, it's turning out fine, but it's, you know, it's better to do them all at once, to be honest. So if you can tell, right there, like, see how it's all uniformed and all pretty and then gets kind of a little wonky and not as nice? That's where I picked up the sock again. So it was quite obvious, like, where I picked it up, because it really looks odd. But I went on and I did this is a heel flap and gusset, and this is the side that looks nice, so I will show you it. The other side doesn't look so nice. And I'm working on the foot right now. This is about halfway down my foot, and then I will do the toes and it'll be done. Yay! So this yarn is the Baby Rainbow. It went on clearance, I want to say last spring or like into the summer, but I bought a whole bunch in a whole bunch of different colors. And this is 100% polyester. It says it's a 4-weight. I feel like it's a 3. It is light. Like, it definitely works up closer to like a 3 in like the fabric. And it is 7.05 ounces and 503 yards. But it's really soft. It kind of feels like butter, if you've felt that. It is very similar to that. So I could make a ton of socks if I decide to make one out of that. So that's one of my whips that I picked up from my previous put to the side. So I'm working on that. It should be done soon. And then my next whip that I'm gonna pick up is, so there was a baby blanket I was gonna make for my mother-in-law, and I didn't like how it was turning out. If you guys have seen anything in quilting, there is a pattern that, like a design pattern that's called log cabin, where each block is like strips. So it's like a dark, a light, a dark, a light, and then the next one, so they're going this way, and then the one next to it will be going this way. So the dark, the light, the dark, the light. So it kind of makes like they're individual blocks, but each direction is turned this way or that way. And the pattern I was using didn't make the blocks look particularly straight, like, because you're crocheting, and the way that the pattern was, like, when you finished the block, it was kind of a little leany, and so when you put it next to the next one, like, it kind of veers to one angle. Anyways, I didn't feel like it was a pattern that was as striking as I was hoping it was going to be. It looked a lot better in the picture, and I even tried to block them, but they just didn't look good. So I'm like, I'm just going to put that on the back burner and do it eventually. All right, so my last little bit is I have some new yarn that I found at Joann's. And then I went to 2 different local yarn shops. And that is also because of Jennifer at Cinnamon Stitches, because she was telling me about some of her local yarn shops and how they have, you know, all sorts of different yarns. The 2 I went to had very tiny sections that didn't have any wool at all. I think the one I went to yesterday had like 2 little bookshelves, and that was it. Those were the only 2 spots in the whole section that had no wool. One was acrylic and nylon based, it looked like, and then the other one was all 100% cotton. What do you do? Anyways, that is beside the point. So I found some new yarn at Joann's. It is the K&C Knit and Crochet. The product is Essential. It is 100% cotton. So, isn't that pretty? Let me tell you about it. It is 3.5 ounces, 180 yards. It says it's a 4-weight. It looks pretty good. Might be a little lighter. It recommends a USI hook, so a 5.5 millimeter, and a US 7 knitting needle, which is a 4.5. knitting needle. All right, and this color is called Denim. So I got 4 of these, but, so this, and they had like a speckled one. This is called Denim VAR, V-A-R, maybe variegated? I don't know. But I got 2 of this one and 4 of this one, and I'm thinking about making a shawl because spring, summer, shawl time. And then they also had, let me go. There we go. These colors. Aren't they pretty? I thought my mom would like those because she loves purple. So this one is Lilac and this one is Lilac Var. So I'm thinking variegated. But aren't those pretty? Yay! New Year's. So it's very soft and squishy. It kind of reminds me of Pima cotton. So if you felt that, it definitely has that smooth, soft feel to it. And like it's not scratchy or anything that definitely would want to potentially make a wearable out of it. I wouldn't use this for kitchen items. It's just too nice. And when I found it at the time, like I liked the color and I was like, ooh, that's pretty. And then I looked up and the sign says it was $2.50 a ball. Well, its regular price was like $5.50, like $5.59-ish or something. So I was like, that's a really good deal. That's like over half off. So I went ahead and bought some. So that's what I got from Joann's. And then I went to the local yarn shop. It is the Red Fox Yarn, and it is in Vienna, Virginia. So, okay. I got more than yarn. I got a sheep. Isn't that cute? Or lamb. Sheep or lamb. Anyways. So she is really soft and squishy. And I saw her. She was the only all white one. And I named her Lolly. Lolly the lamb. Isn't she cute? And little tiny little legs. So I got her. And then they also had llamas or alpacas, but I'm thinking llamas. So I named her Lily the llama. Isn't she cute? She's super soft. Like, she is super soft. Oh, maybe I should try and tell you about them. Wow, it's covered up. Oh, they think it's an alpaca. Oh, Douglas. So there's her little tag. Yep, she is a cuddle toy. Let's see. Apparently she is made in New Jersey. Or her company's from New Jersey. Anyways, isn't he cute? And this is also a Douglas. And yeah. So I thought those were so cute. Okay. Now for the actual yarn. Alright, so they had a sale section in the back. And I decided to get some of these. This is King Cole Finesse Cotton Silk DK. Isn't that pretty? It is a 50-gram ball. It is 77% cotton and 23% silk. approximately 131 yards, made in Turkey. Let's see. DK, yes, that's a 3-weight. Oops. Yeah, definitely a 3-weight. But it feels really, really nice. And I got 3 colors of it. So this one is soft blue. And then this one is cream. And this one is completely covered up. Hold on. Yeah, they put the tag right over it. I don't know. It's green. It's pretty. So I was thinking about making a shawl or a shawlette, but I was thinking definitely of knitting these. Aren't they pretty? So I was happy about that. And then the next place, the place I went with Becky, let's see, this one is in here. And this was 3 Little Birds Sewing Company, and it is in Hyattsville, Maryland. So just over the other side of Washington, D.C. So I got, this is Barocco. Oh, yeah. It's kind of a different color red. Hopefully it comes out in the color balance. I did get some new lights, so hopefully it'll help with the colors. But it's a Barocco Comfort. Here, I'll let you look at that one. It is 50% superfine nylon, 50% superfine acrylic. Says knitting worsted weight. So 4. It is 3.5 ounces, 210 yards, made in Turkey. The color is covered up again. But it looks like it only has a color number and a dye lot. Okay. And this one also has a color number and a dye lot, but you can actually see it. So this one is color number 9730, and you probably wouldn't need the dye lot anyway. But I thought these might be something nice for Christmas. Thought that would be pretty. They had a more truer red, but I just thought this looked so much nicer together, and Becky agreed, so I went ahead and got the lighter red. And then, very last thing, they had, I would say, like a mill ends basket, but for yarn. So I don't know what this is, but it is so soft, like satiny, like just, I joked about it becoming my squishy stress ball because it's so soft. It's a little bit shiny, and like it just feels wonderful. Like it's the bumpy texture, and it's probably definitely like a 5-weight, but it's so soft. I have no intentions of making anything with it. I'm just gonna sit and feel it when I need it. But anyways, yeah, so I got a little remnant of yarn. Super cute. All right, so I think that is everything. Yeah, once I get my dorm socks done, I will start on that next, putting that baby blanket together. I don't know how many squares I have, because like I kept making squares, and then I tried to put it together, and I was like, huh, that looks weird. I don't like how it's looking. So I'm gonna try and start piecing that, see how many blocks I have and if they make a blanket or if I need to make more blocks. We'll see. I'll have to remember what pattern I used because I don't even remember. Like, I'm sure it's saved somewhere on like Pinterest or something, but I could not tell you what it was off the top of my head. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night or whatever it is. I hope it's wonderful. Bye!